Hello. Hello. Good, better. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very much to the company for inviting me here today. It's a pleasure. Long flight from Miami. A little bit of jet lag, but after a lot of coffee, I think I'm ready, more or less, so hopefully. So, my name is Ron Aledo. I have been invited here today to talk to you a little bit about how we in the U.S. intelligence community, that's my former life, we see and we understand the basics of IT and cybersecurity. So I'm not going to be very technical, obviously. I'm just going to give you a very general idea of how we use cyber hacking, how to defend ourselves from an intelligence analyst, former intelligence analyst perspective. So I'm going to see you not from a corporative perspective, but from an intelligence analyst government perspective. I'm going to be all around, many subjects. Usually I give a presentation similar to this in 3 days. Take me 3 days, 20 plus hours. So this one is going to be shorter, obviously. It's going to be only 6 hours. But it's going to be concentrated in 40 minutes, more or less. That's what they gave me. But you're going to see that it's very concentrated because it's not the usual time that I give this presentation. I give this presentation in 3 days in a multi-day seminar. So what I did, I took that 3-day long class and I concentrated in 40 minutes. So it's going to be a little bit rushing, but hopefully you will follow the trend. So my name is Ron Aledo. I grew up between Miami and Puerto Rico. Very beautiful beaches over there in Puerto Rico. That's where I grew up. Back in the days, I left Miami and I went to the U.S. Army. Did a career in the U.S. Army. Was stationed 5 years in Germany. My old days over there. And you don't want to know what I did over there. After that, I went to Colombia. You don't really want to know what I did over there. I was at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. Amazing times. And I was single. So, I went to the CIA as a contractor once I finished my military career. Then I went to the DIA, and people get confused. DIA is one thing, Defense Intelligence Agency. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. The EA is another thing. That's the famous in the movies. The Drug Enforcement Agency. Okay, that's different. But I was not a DEA agent. I was a DIA contractor. Different. Finally, I ended up in Homeland Security. I was in charge of the Mexico border policy. I was visiting beautiful places like Ciudad Juarez. Back in the day. You don't want to have the tour. Back in 2010, they gave me the tour of Ciudad Juarez. Oh, here is where the heads were last week. That's not nice. And I ended up in the Joint Staff at the Pentagon. The Joint Staff, I was an intelligence and operations officer in the bunker in the Pentagon. You're going to see a little bit more about that. And after that, I went to the private sector, and right now I work for a company, an international company, Defensia. You're going to see a little. I'm going to talk to you about Defensia, my company. I'm the security director and intelligence director for that corporation. And I'm settled right now in Miami, Florida. I went back home. After I traveled the whole world, I ended up back home in Miami. So, that's me in my other times. A little bit more kilos, but thank you. My past life, back in Afghanistan. I have a lot of fun in Afghanistan, back in better days. I still don't know how many women are in this motorcycle. I was driving, and oh my God, let me take a picture of this. I don't know. So some people say 2, some people say 3. I don't know. I'm going to do a forensic analysis one day to find out how many women are in that motorcycle. And over there with my Afghan police, when they existed, before the sad days, a year and a half ago. That's when I was leaving Afghanistan. That's Major General Safai, the director of the Afghan police, giving me my farewell after a year. I went to Afghanistan in 2011, 2012, 2014, and 2015. I mean, and in between I have breaks, and that's why I have 5 children today. I did special missions with the FBI. You're going to see that a little bit more. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that later on. FBI Director Mueller, he became famous after he left the FBI. Why? Trump, yes. After he retired from the FBI, they rehired Mueller to be in charge of the Russia investigation. So that's why everybody knows Mueller today. Not because he was the director of the FBI, but because he was the Trump-gate, Russia-gate thing. So I was teaching, for a moment I taught at the Spanish War College, and I taught also at the Spanish National Academy in Avila, Spain, back in the old days. This is the company where I work right now. I'm the director of intelligence and security, just so you understand where I come from right now. It's a small company based in Madrid and based in Miami. We do everything that has to do with avionics. It's an avionics company, but we engage with different customers all around the world. Software design, development, we do communications. We do all kind of onboard system, monitors, inspections, light system, vision systems. We have a headquarters also in Latin America. We work with the Spanish Air Force. We work with American corporations. Everything from, and tomorrow I'm going to give you more information, illuminators, nozzle systems, encoders, precision radiation thermometer, very advanced things that we use for the military. 3D glasses, very cool, they look cool. Cameras, all kind of cameras. Camera bench, designator bench, panoramic view system. That beautiful view over there, that's some stuff that my company do. Global video system platforms. Non-freezing monitors. This, very important. We use it in Afghanistan, and I use it in Iraq. Okay, these are very, very nice. That's what we use in the U.S. Army. These are kind of laptops that are unbreakable. All kind of nice things. If you want to know where your people is, the police, the Army unit, the cars, that's something that my company do. GPS tracking system, so you know where your people is at all times, etc. Now, let's talk about U.S. intelligence. How many intelligence agencies do we have in the United States? Too many. 17. But obviously, not all are as important as the other ones. Not all the intelligence are as big as the other ones, obviously. Usually, we have the main intelligence agencies. I'm going to talk to you about those, the ones that are in the movies all the time. Intelligence operations. When we talk about intelligence, we usually think about analysis of intelligence and operations of intelligence. Those are the two main things that we do in the intelligence world. Analysis and operations, that's it. How many departments the CIA has? 4. That's it. Analysis, that's where I used to work. Operations. Human resources, because you need to have a human resources. I mean, who is out, who is in, who is on leave, who is retired, who have a dental plan, who has that. And technology. That's are the only, it's very simple. There is the CIA director, and then there are 4 sub-directors. Operations, analysis, human resources, and technology. That's it. And obviously, people don't like to talk about analysis. Oh, that's the boring part, analysis, whatever. But it's necessary, obviously, that's where I was. And then there is the operations of intelligence. Intelligence ops. Covert action can mean many, many, many things. Covert action. Yeah, we see the Mossad, what they do. They are experts on that. They take away unwanted people. But covert action might mean starting a revolution someplace. Might mean starting turmoil someplace. Street protest someplace. Manipulating or directing the press of any given country in your favor or against that candidate or against that political party. There are many, many things in covert action. Obviously, the most important thing of intelligence operations is human collection, human intelligence collection. Offensive counterintelligence, of course. That's what we call double agents. Also a lot of those in the movies. And we also have paramilitary ops. Basically, we take very elite soldiers, military people, special forces, and we tell them, hello, thank you for your service, now you are a civilian. You are not anymore a military person. Take off your uniform. Go to the next step. Yes, sir? Congratulations, now you are hired in the intelligence agency. Get your uniform. So that basically is that they do the same thing with the same weapon. The only thing, they don't have any flag this time. They don't have their last name this time. And that if they get captured, we don't know who that guy is. But we have those. When we talk about what intelligence services do and covert actions, we need to understand this. The power of a country, the power of a state, other than the economical sanctions that we see now all the time. We're going to sanction Russia. We're going to not buy Russian oil. We're not going to buy Russian gas. We're going to confiscate Russian gold, whatever. Other than that, diplomatic and economic, a state, any given state, they reflect power against their foes. We obviously see that when the military power, conventional forces, wheeled forces, task force, special forces. We see that on the news every day. Somalia government against the Somalian rebels. The Ethiopian rebels against the Ethiopian, whatever is left of their government. The Houthis against the government in Yemen, blah, 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 blah. We see that in the news. It's in CNN. What we don't see, what happens every day, thousands of times, is the intelligence, the covert action, the ops. That we don't see that. It's invisible. Once in a while, one operation, intelligence operation, blows up, and yeah, then we see it on CNN. But we don't see it on real time. We don't see what that happened. Okay, those are invisible. We see this plane and this Patriot missile and this bombing, and you just turn on the TV. That's very visible. But there is an invisible war over there that we know very little about that, and we don't see it on the news. More about intelligence in the United States. Inside the United States, the leadership or the main intelligence agency is the FBI, internal of the United States. They have the leadership. Outside of the United States is the CIA. So that's how it's divided. Some countries, they only have one intelligence service. Many countries have one intelligence service, like Spain. They have one intelligence service. That intelligence service does inside and outside. The United States, they have one for inside, one for outside. And yes, it becomes very complicated. Having 17 intelligence agencies, sometimes the jurisdiction of who does what becomes very complicated. We have the FBI, we have the DA, we have the local law enforcement. We have ATF, we have ICE. that work for Homeland Security, immigration. We have the state troopers. We have the local police, the New York City Police Department. We have all that. And then we have the strategic intelligence that does all the political and military analysis outside the United States. And then we have common links like counterterrorism, counterintelligence, counter-narcotics that links them both. And sometimes it becomes complicated, sometimes it becomes confusing. A few years ago, in a city that I cannot tell you, it's confidential, I cannot tell you what city, Chicago. In this city, a few years ago, there was a counter-terrorism exercise. And there was this boat with terrorists over there in the river. And then the commander of the Coast Guard showed up. Okay, you are in charge. And the FBI special agent in charge showed up. No, we are in charge. We are the FBI. And the commander of the Coast Guard said, no, wait. They are in a boat, in a river. We are in charge. Heck, you go to hell. I am the FBI. They are in a boat, in a river in Chicago. We are in charge. No, go to hell. No, you go to hell. And they ended up fighting in a fist fight. Don't tell that I told you. Okay. Homeland Security. Contrary to the myth, Homeland Security, the Department of Homeland Security created after 9/11, is not like the Ministry of Interior. People believe, oh, that's like the Minister of Interior of my country, the Ministry of Interior of Romania. No, it's not like that, okay? Similar to, but it's not like that. We don't have a secret police. We don't have like a secret state apparatus inside the United States. Homeland Security is mostly customs and borders. That's it. They are the ones in charge of your, when you go to America, when you go to the United States, and you give your passport at the airport, that's Homeland Security, Customs and Border Protection. 20,000 Border Patrol agents in the border between the United States and Mexico. That's Homeland Security. And obviously we have the Immigration Police, that's different, ICE, okay? But basically that's what Homeland Security does. Customs and border, sea border, airports, and the border with Mexico and the border with Canada. That's what Homeland Security is. Not like the Ministry of Interior. We have a Ministry of Secretary of Interior in the United States. Yes, we do have it. They do flowers, plants, and forests. So, I'm serious. That's what they do. The Central Intelligence Agency, they are the Human Intelligence Agency of the United States. Very famous. It's on the news. It's on the movies. It's everywhere. The FBI is both they are like similar to the Minister of Interior of many countries. They do have the secret police that is called the FBI. They do everything related to counterterrorism, counter-espionage, counterintelligence, weapons of mass destruction. Or they also have a normal law enforcement division that does everything from bank robberies and money cleaning, organized crime, mafia, etc. That's why they are so much in the mood, because they have two divisions, the National Security Division and the normal law enforcement. The Defense Intelligence Agency is like the CIA, but they work for the Pentagon. The CIA works for the President of the United States. Defense Intelligence Agency works for the Secretary of Defense. That's the main difference. That's the DIA headquarters in Bowling Air Force Base. This is the new building right here. Over there, let me see if this works. This works. It doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, here. That's the old building. That's where I used to work. In the center here is the cafeteria. Very nice. The Department of Defense. Oh my God, who is that kid over there? Okay, the Department of Defense is the Pentagon. The Pentagon, 23,000 people work in the Pentagon every day. I don't know how many hundreds of kilometers of halls are in the Pentagon, but 23,000 people work in the Pentagon every day. That's where the chairman of the Joint Chiefs sits. That's where the secretary, the minister, the secretary of defense sits. Okay? And obviously all the agencies, all the military are under the control and under the authority of the Secretary of Defense. I'm talking about the NSA, the National Geospatial Agency, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Defense Logistics Agency, all the COCOMs, EUCOM, SOUTHCOM, PACOM, CENTCOM, all the Reserve and National Guard. We're talking about 2 million people. Every single day is under the authority of the Department of Defense. About 2 million people every single day. And then we have this. Not such an agency. The National Security Agency. And that is the mission. This is the mission of the NSA. SIGINT, Signal Intelligence. Terrible, terrible, terrible cafeteria. I'm serious. It's in the basement. It has no windows. The worst cafeteria I have ever been in one of these places. But it's there. The National Security Agency. And this is the blending that we do. This is why it's so important, the signal intelligence. We do the human intelligence. That's the famous espionage, people to people. SIGINT, that's where the NSA does. Cell phones, radars, radio, communications, coming, emails, WhatsApps, everything that goes into the signal, that's the NSA. GEOINT, geospatial intelligence, like Google Earth. Obviously, a lot more powerful than Google Earth. That's the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. MASINT, measurement and signature intelligence. They are the forensic experts. They are the scientists who can tell us if this was a nuclear explosion or a conventional explosion. They can tell us, they can take samples of the air, they can take samples of the water, what kind of explosive was used here. They can analyze the tracks, and they can tell us what vehicle passed through here. How many of those vehicles? They basically are scientists. They are the strategic intelligence version of the forensic police. Every police in the world have forensics experts. So massive analysts, they are our forensic experts. OSINT, open source intelligence. This conference that I'm giving to you right now is open source intelligence. It's nothing classified or secret here, open source. Everything that is in the news, on the encyclopedias, on the YouTube, in CNN, in TV, everything is open source. Social network, whatever you can see from Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, that's open source. We use it. Intellipedia, we have something called Intellipedia in the United States. A lot of fun with Intellipedia. It's like Wikipedia, but secret. That's it, but we bought a license from Wikipedia, the intelligence community, so we can use in our secret computers this Intellipedia. And it's very fun, okay, because it looks exactly like Wikipedia, but obviously a lot more complete, a lot more information. Wikipedia will tell you this is the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was born in 1950-something. He's from this political party, and this and that. Intellipedia will tell you this is the Prime Minister, he was born in this country, he's from this political party, he became Prime Minister in this year, he has 5 girlfriends, each one in this country, he has secret bank accounts here and there, and he's right now under the influence of this country that is paying under the table how many per month. That's the difference between Intellipedia and Wikipedia. And obviously, we do the analysis. That's the part of the analyst. And we do the analytical judgment. But obviously, SIGINT, that's what I'm going to talk about. SIGINT is the important part that we all deal with in this environment of IT and cybersecurity. Because hacking, cyber attacks, getting intelligence from your computer, from your WhatsApp, from your phone calls. That is all part of the National Security Agency, and that's part of all countries seeking capabilities, because all countries, they have more or less a seeking agency, seeking only agency. The British does, the French does, Canada does, Australia does, Germany does, Russia does, North Korea does. So that is the important part that has to do with IT, the intelligence agency that is specifically designed for seeking collection, for seeking attack, for seeking hacking. And that is, for example, I like to bring this example, critical infrastructure as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. Critical infrastructure is under constant attack of seeking agencies all around the world. And that's something that you all know very well. And people need to know more about that. It's not only a private corporation, but public infrastructure, critical infrastructure, is in a constant attack by foreign agents. And I'm not bringing this from the viewpoint of the United States. I'm bringing this from any given state, X state, is under attack by this state, by C state, by Y state, by B state. And they are all attacking each other, trying to get critical information, trying to attack critical infrastructure, trying to get data that they can use in their plans, data that they can sell in the market to other opponents. That's, for example, what Cuba is very famous for that. Believe it or not. Cuba, one of their main revenue is not just tourism and salsa and rum. Those are fun. But that's not one of the main revenues of Cuba. Cuba steals a lot of information by seeking, a lot of it, and by human, from the United States, and then resell it to Iran, to China, to Russia, to whoever wants to pay more greens. These are the 10 critical infrastructure sectors that the Department of Homeland Security in the United States defines. Water, energy, finance, food, health, government. And that is, we have 3 ways in the United States in which we defend against cyber attacks. 3 ways. Homeland Security, the one that does customs mostly on border, they also have a section of Homeland Security that their sole purpose is to defend government and critical infrastructure against cyber attacks and hackers. That is passive defense. Passive. Then we have the FBI that does the investigation. Every time that one critical infrastructure, can be a water dam, can be an airport, can be food plant, is under attack, the FBI investigates. The Department of Homeland Security protects. The FBI investigates. They do a criminal investigation of what happened, when the attack come from, who is behind. That we put in jail someone because of that attack. And then when we need to punch back, we need to go into the offensive, then we call the NSA. So those are the 3. FBI, Homeland Security, and the NSA. Between the 3 of them is the United States cyber defense and the United States protection of cyber attacks. Obviously, we know this. All structures are attacked, not only physical, armed, bomb, sabotage, terrorism, but here, malware, data breach, etc. These are, as defined by the United States government, the main threats to infrastructure and to government structure. Malicious programs, attacks, trying to get data, and not only the states, a state actor, like we call it. Obviously, we know that there are many, many, many thousands of non-state actors. I'm not talking about terrorist groups. I'm talking about criminals that want to get rich. Who have received here an email from the Nigerian prince? There you go. There you go. Hacking, denial of service, virus, vandalism, cyber terrorism, piracy. Databases. They want your databases. If you have, and I'm not talking about, you don't have to be a super secret government organization. You can be a pharmaceutical company. You have a nice new medicine that will cure or will reduce the symptoms of any given illness, they want it. You are an IT corporation and you are developing a new product, innovative product. They want it, their opponents want it. That's what China does in the United States every single day. They don't attack only the government, they attack the corporations, the big corporations, whatever is on behind energy, science, technology. China has thousands and thousands of people in the payroll, specifically with one mission only, steal as much as you can from the companies of the United States. Terrorists, they use it too. They try to hide their communications. They try to be under the radar of the NSA and the police and the FBI and the SBR and MI6 and MI5. Ransomware, very famous, especially they do mass attacks. Sorry, you need to pay us. If you want to keep using your computer or your system, you need to give us a lot of money. That Nigerian prince is getting so rich. Analysis of competing hypotheses. Remember the WannaCry a few years ago? Okay, there is a theory out there. I'm not saying that it's like this. It's just a theory. Just a hypothesis. What about if China wanted to steal something or wanted to affect one computer here in India? That's it. They have one computer here in New Delhi that they want to get. But they want to cover their tracks. So they infected like 5 billion computers all around the world more. Infected some of their own. Just to cover their track. Smoke screen. But what if the whole thing was just about one country stealing one computer from another country, and that's it. And all the other 4,000, 5,000 million computers was just to cover their tracks. It's a hypothesis, don't quote me. Darknet. Once they steal, criminals and non-actors, non-state actors, they steal your stuff. It most likely ended up in the darknet, the for sale, exposed to whoever pays more. A lot more information that you can find in Google is here. And that is where corporations, and that's where a lot of people have to keep themselves on alert the whole time, because my latest secret, my latest formula, my latest medicine, my latest IT product, my latest revolutionary whatever engine is already on the dark web, and I might not even know. And somebody's selling it to other people. All organizations have to defend themselves against cyber crime and cyber attacks. Basically, that's the bottom line of the United States government. And that's why the Department of Homeland Security, they work with private corporations on a daily basis to protect themselves. It's not because that company is by itself, but those companies usually are the contractor of the United States government. They are the suppliers of the United States government. They are the ones that produce the product and then they sell it to the United States government. So the United States government, they have a very strong interest for China, for Iran, for North Korea, not to get hands on those secret or developing technologies, formulas, etc. I like to talk about airports because it's very easy to see how the threat affects the airport. It's very simple, very easy, so that's why I bring it as an example. But just like I'm talking about airports, I can talk about nuclear plants, or I can talk about water dams, or I can talk about any critical port, just a seaport, all kind of critical infrastructures. Vietnam, under attack, so many times during so many years, and I don't know why Vietnam, but they are highly interested on that airport. They attack the flight information, the airfield, just the AC. They attack the AC of Miami Airport. Ooh, that's going to be terrible. They attack the heating system. Imagine Helsinki in January, and a hacker shuts down the heating system in Helsinki. I don't want to go to Helsinki. Access control, etc. Miami, 20,000 hacks attempts per day. 20,000. You think that's a lot? LA, 2,900,000 attacks in a year. That's LA. Routing instructions, warrants, denial of service, insider threats. This is very important, insider threats. That has a little bit to do with IT, but it has to do a lot with counterintelligence and counter-espionage. Last time I went to Afghanistan, I was sitting on my desk at the Pentagon, and I have 3 computers. I have the green, the classified one, I have the red one, the secret one, and I have the yellow one, the super secret one. And I have a little button, and then whenever I want to see YouTube and have some fun, I go to the green computer, and I see YouTube. Oh, that's so fun. Then I want to read something more serious, I go to the red computer. I wanted to know what this chief of state had for breakfast today, I went to the secret supercomputer. And I was with one button, I was switching from one to another computer. Then somebody took out the green computer. Somebody took it away. Somebody hacked it. So when I come back from Afghanistan, I have no computer. They took them all. Now everything was cloud. Because somebody, I don't know who, while I was in Afghanistan, most likely put something in a computer, and that took out the whole system. The same happened in Iran all the time with their nuclear plant. Somebody is paid by someone, obviously I don't know who, Israel. And obviously that happens like that. So insider threat. I'm running out of time, so I'm going very fast. State actions, activists, hackers, Save the Trees, Greenpeace, whatever, cyber terrorists, common criminals, the Nigerian prince. Yes, anonymous, why not? The Chinese government have dozens of thousands of people which have one mission only: to attack, do cyber attacks, steal information, getting the intelligence advantage. You already know a lot of how to do the passive protection of your infrastructure. Isolate, remove, recover, learn. and obviously rely in a good company. And a lot of you I know that do a lot of cybersecurity. A good company that does cybersecurity obviously provides everything from passive defense, alerts, data breach alerts, discovery, recovery, isolation. Like this company, for example. And that's why I recommend all companies, all private sector, and all government sectors not to let down, like we let down at the Pentagon, but that was in 2015. We let it down, just for 1 second. And you can read it, go to Google, how the whole non-classified computer system of the Pentagon was struck down for weeks. For weeks. The Pentagon was down. Read it, 2015. That's why when I come back from Afghanistan, I have no computer. They removed them all. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just call an expert, somebody who knows how to protect your company, an expert who knows how to protect your assets. Be proactive in your cybersecurity, bottom line. All of that I said today, you can read it a lot more here. Those are my sources. CIA have a gigantic library with thousands of formerly secret and top secret documents that are now open source. Go to the CIA.gov Library Center, DIA.mil, and FAST.org. FAST.org have thousands and thousands of humid, seeing, cybersecurity, IT security. Go to FAST.org in the United States. That's one of the greatest libraries online for all kind of intelligence studies. You can contact me. I am in LinkedIn. I have my own YouTube channel. Once in a while I put a lot of boring stuff over there. And you can contact me at my corporative email. Thank you very much.